I'm Deanna, and welcome to today's doll repaint video. Rainbow rabbits, making rainbow rabbits. Hello there, how are you today? Me, I'm excited today because I'm continuing my collection of rainbow rabbit themed dolls. Now, if you don't know, I decided it would be fun to create a collection of rabbit girls based on each color of the rainbow. I started this collection with Ruby, the red rabbit, and can you guess what color we're going to do today? So often I get an idea for a doll when I'm trying to fall asleep and my brain gets stuck on an idea and it just won't shut up. And that's exactly what happened with this yellow rabbit doll. I was all bundled up in bed, ready to fall asleep, and my brain was like,
Hey, did you know that Sunny would be a really cute name for this doll? And I was like, you know what, brain? You're right.
And then I was up half the night thinking about Sunny and what kind of rabbit person she is, and I decided that she is going to be a perky, friendly raver chick. Now, if you don't know what a raver is the name for someone who frequently goes to a style of party called raves, and they're usually held in places like dark warehouses where DJs play electronic dance music and people, of course, dance a lot. Now, I myself am not a raver type person. I'm more of a stay at home and watch Buffy for the 100th time type person. Grr, arg. But raver culture has a unique style of fashion that I've always had an appreciation for. And when I think of their fashion, I think of things like glitter and neon and rainbow colors and holographic shiny things and clear plastic fabrics and basically anything that's bright, cute, and glows in the dark. After all, the club is usually dark, so you want to stand out. Oh, you can't really see this, can you? Hold on one second. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing the rainbow theme, but we're making it raver style. And before we get started, I want to go ahead and ask that if you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm so close to 500 subscribers, which is so crazy and exciting to me. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell button to get notifications when I post new videos. All right, enough talking, let's get this party started. Today, I'm going to be repainting this Monster High doll. I'm pretty sure she's a Draculaura, but the last time I thought I was using her, you guys let me know that I was actually using her cousin, Elizabeth. Whoopsie! I chose her because her large facial features look like they would be easy to transform into a bunny girl, and I'm also interested in using the little open gap between her lips for that extra bunny aesthetic. I'm starting off her transformation with the first necessary prep steps. This involves removing her head from her body. There are a couple different methods of doing this, but my preferred method is soaking her head in boiling hot water until the rubber of the head softens. We want the rubber to be soft so that we can lightly wiggle the head off of her body without breaking the peg inside of her head. We will need this peg when it's time to reattach her head to her body, and it can be a pain to fix if broken. Next on our to-do list is removing her old hair plugs. If you're going to try this, be sure to do this step while the rubber is still warm and soft, because this means the glue is softened and it makes it so much easier to pull the hair plugs out. Now that we've removed her hair, we're left with the factory face paint. To turn her into my own creation, I'm going to use pure acetone to remove this paint. If you're going to try this, you only want to use either pure acetone or nail polish remover that has acetone in it. Acetone will safely take the paint off of her face, while regular nail polish remover will do damage to the doll. The last bit of prep I'll do is paint our doll's body and head with white acrylics and seal it with Mr. Super Clear sealant, but I'm going to do that step off camera. I'm back with Sunny's painted and sealed head. I forgot to cut off her vampire ears earlier, so I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to trim those off right now. Since she's turning into a bunny, she won't need them. Okay, so I want her skin to have a multi-dimensional appearance, and one of my favorite ways to achieve this is by adding undertones before applying a base skin tone. For Sunny, our yellow rabbit, she's getting purple undertones on her face and body. I chose purple for her because it will show through the yellow ochre color I'm going to use, and since purple is a complementary color to yellow, the purple color won't look jarring or unnatural. Off camera, I applied 2 layers of yellow ochre soft pastels to her head, and now I'm giving her some red freckles using watered down acrylic paint. This is to give the skin some added texture, and I'll be applying my 3rd and final layer of yellow on top of them to make the freckles look like they're a part of her skin. Coming in with an orange soft pastel color, I'm starting to carve out the areas that require shading. I'm going to keep pushing these shaded areas by moving up from this light orange to darker orange tones. And eventually, I'll be applying more purple and blue tones for the deepest contour colors. As I continue to build these colors up, I'm also going to come in with this vibrant pink color to start bringing in her blushing. With this small bristle brush, I'm blushing over the cheeks and the bridge of her nose, as well as a little bit along the jaw and hairlines to give her skin a little life to it. Here, I'm getting into that deeper purple color for the contouring and shading. My artistic background focuses a lot in drawing, and when it comes to drawing, you don't want to have one medium tone when you're shading. You want to have highlighted areas, and you want to have deep, dark areas. And that's what I'm doing with this dark purple. I'm using the darkest color on the areas with the darkest shadows. You might ask why I'm not using black for this, and basically when I'm working with color, and not just black and white, I don't use black to deepen a color or to shade. Black paint will make the color look harsh and kind of dead, so it's much better to create a darker color with hues from the color wheel. Moving on, I'm using my watercolor pencils to start blocking in her eyes and creases. I'm also using them to punch up the highlighted areas of her face that may have lost some definition while shading. Now I want to start blocking in Sunny's expression. Sunny is a happy-go-lucky kind of gal, so I want to extend the corners of her mouth into more of a smile. I also want to emphasize the way that the cheeks lift when someone's smiling, so I'm going to do some light shading to shape the expression. Starting with the eyes, I'm now going to add details using acrylic paints. I've decided to continue the yellow and purple theme and give her purple irises. I'm using this lighter purple color to start shading her eye color and to apply the base of her lash line and the lash line shadows across the tops of her eyes. Continuing to work from light to dark, I'm using a deeper purple to line areas like the smile lines of her cheeks and the inner line of her mouth. With those lines defined, I'll now start pushing and pulling the shading in these areas until they're just right. It's kind of a little dance of adding and softening the shading until these outlined areas look like a natural part of her face. And I'm going to do this stage using acrylic paint and watercolor pencils. For her lips, I want to keep things simple, and I'm going in with a pink color, which I'll also use to shape the lips into more of a smile. I'm also using that same pink color as a base for her eye makeup to kind of balance each other out. Now I'm coming in with the darkest purple. With this color, I can really start making her look like an actual person by giving her pupils and eyelashes. To give her more raver style makeup, I'm giving her some neon yellow eyeliner. She'll get more raver makeup later, but I want to wait until after I style her hair. Using my thinnest liner brush, I'm starting to add highlights to her eye creases and to her eyelashes, which will clean them up a little. It's also time to give her eyes catch lights, which I'm placing at the tops of her eyes, and these little starbursts to give her irises a little bit of texture. Now that her eyes are just about finished, I'm going to start blocking in her eyebrows. To give her an amused kind of look, I'm going to slightly arch one of her brows. I'd like to start painting the brows in a light color and then top them in a darker color for dimension. Before I top the eyebrows off with some highlights, I'm shading the corners of her mouth to give them some dimensions as well. Using white paint, I'm giving her two very rabbity front teeth right in that little gap between her lips. After doing a few more shading and highlighting tweaks, the final step of her face up is giving her some pink freckles. Since we have a lot to cover in this video, I'm going to keep her body repaint recap pretty short. I follow the same basic rules that I applied to her face in regard to undertones, texture, shading, and blushing. But what I'm mainly going to focus on for this portion are the tattoos that I gave her. When thinking about ravers, I kept associating aliens with them, so I really like the idea of giving her alien-themed tattoos on each leg. I don't know, maybe she's raving somewhere in Roswell. On one leg, I'm sketching little poke-style tats that are space-themed. A little green alien face and stars and, those kinds of things. On the other is a spaceship with a tractor beam. It's kind of a throwback to my first doll repaint, Samantha, the alien abductee girl. Once sketched in, I'm going over each part with black acrylic paint. And once that's dry, I'll seal everything with, well, you guessed it, Mr. Super Clear. And now it's time to make her a little raver outfit. She's going to get several pieces for her outfit today, and I'm kicking things off by modifying and tracing this delightful pattern onto this plastic sheet and cutting it out. As you can see, the plastic has a holographic shimmer to it. I was able to get this look by applying a holographic sticker to a thin layer of vinyl plastic fabric that I had in my supply. Here's what the plastic sheet looked like before I added the sticker. So I'm making a basic halter top, and I'm attaching this neon cord as a trim and a way to tie the top in the back. Moving on, I'm using the same neon cord and some painted elastic to make her a fun pair of bikini bottoms. A lot of raver looks I've seen just have a pair of bikini bottoms, and I'm going to use the neon cord to keep a cohesive look with her halter top. Now you may be noticing that her top is just a bit see-through, but fear not. She's about to get some coverage using these adorable stickers. This sheet has some star stickers that are making kissy faces at each other, and I think they're the perfect combo of cute and funny for her cover-up. I'm continuing her look with a clear plastic jacket. I've glued on that neon cord to the bottom of the bodice so it dangles down like fringe. And to cover up the glue, I'm now adding this neon elastic strip. Off camera, I struggle sewed the sleeves of the jacket onto the bodice, and now I'm adding some trim around the lapels. It was really tricky sewing the plastic for this because I wasn't able to sew it inside out like I normally do, and I did it by hand, so it was a lot harder on my fingers because of how thick the plastic is. Off camera, I realized I made the sleeves way too long since the plastic is very stiff and not very flexible, so I had to trim them and resew them. Now I want to keep layering on the cute by adding more of these stickers to the lapels. We've got some mushrooms and strawberries, bunnies, and flowers, which are all perfect for our rabbit raver. Now for the back of the jacket, I have this glittery heart rhinestone that I've been waiting to use on the perfect project. And I think this shiny jacket is it! Now let's take a big leap on over to her shoes. When planning her outfit, I kept thinking about this one time I was in Detroit when an electric dance festival was going on. The streets were packed with raver girls wearing neon fuzzy boots. I thought they all looked so cute, so of course I wanted to give Sunny the same kind of boots. After modifying and painting this pair of shoes neon yellow, I'm going to attach this neon faux fur. I'm placing the fur so that a little bit of the bottom of the shoe still shows, and I want to stop it at the slit on the back of the shoe so that I can still put the shoes on her easily. The fur is still a little long, so I'm trimming it back using Mr. Snippy. Now that they're on, I want their fit to be snugger against her legs, so I'm sewing them closed in the back. And now to top off her entire look, I'm attaching a little pom-pom for her bunny tail. So aside from her tail and front teeth, Sunny isn't quite a bunny yet. So let's complete her rabbit transformation by making her some bunny ears. Using tinfoil, I've drawn out the shape of the ears and I'm going to cut them out. The foil will give me a basic shape that I can build upon using Sculpey clay. I'm sizing and fitting her ears against her head before I bake them, and I've decided to give Sunny lop rabbit style ears, and I want to shape them a bit so they aren't just hanging down limply. After I'm happy with the shaping, I'm going to pop them into the oven to harden. Jumping forward, her ears are out of the oven, and after covering them in a layer of glue, I'm going to give them a couple layers of flocking. Check out my Red Rabbit video to see how I made my flocking out of yarn. Alright, I covered the ears and I let them completely dry, and now I'm going to attach the ears to her head. I've marked the spots where I want to attach them, and I'll first attach them using some super glue. Then I'll seal them with epoxy sculpt to give them a really strong base. I used white flocking so I could color her ears using yellow pastels. I chose not to make the flocking out of the same color that I'm going to use for her hair wefts because I didn't want her ears to blend in with her hair. Now I'm taking pink and red soft pastels to shade the inside of her ears. Moving on to her hairstyling, I've made yarn hair wefts out of this neon yellow color. To complement her lop ears and raver look, I'm giving her a high ponytail with bangs. I'm laying in the wefts starting with the first layer of bangs, which I will snip right above her eyebrows. For the rest of the wefts, I will apply them in a circular pattern around her head. So along the outside circle of the hair, the wefts were applied so that when the hair is pulled up in the ponytail, it'll be kind of folded over so that the glue edges of the wefts won't show. I'm starting to style it up into the ponytail, and using a paintbrush and water, I'm smoothing the hair out as I gather it. Using a clear elastic, I'm tying her pony into place, and her bangs are looking a little too thin, so I'm going to add another layer of wefts. So her bangs are looking a little wonky, but before I fix them, I want them to lay a little bit flatter. So I've wet them down, and using cling wrap, I'm kind of binding them down. Okay, so now that they're dry, I can trim them and make them look a little less blocky using Mr. Snippy. I'm also using this eyebrow razor to shape the side hair wispies and bangs. Next, I want to work on her ponytail, and I'm taking a little section out and wrapping it to hide the hair elastic. I don't want her hair to continue to stick up like a troll doll, and I ended up using my mini hair iron to shape it downward. Now I want to go back to her rave makeup. A lot of raver looks nowadays involve a lot of glitter on the face, so with some nail art glitter, I'm going to glitter up her cheeks. Her ears definitely need some sparkle too, so they're going to get some yellow glitter. I've also seen a lot of raver looks where girls have like a lot of glitter in their hair, so I'm going to give her some pink glitter by her hair roots. Now the question is, do I like this? I'm not sure yet. While I figure that out, I'm going to give her hair even more sparkle by applying these shiny rhinestones. So I've come to a decision, and I've decided that I don't like having the blunt line of pink glitter in her hair, so I'm going to use a lighter shade of pink to kind of fade it out. With all the glitter dried and set, I can finally reattach her head to her body. So I also had a thought. She's got glitter in her hair, so she needs some glitter on her body. I'm gonna go ahead and add some to her legs and tummy. So the last little detail for her are these two little glow sticks that I made using some dowel sticks. You know, because it's just not a party without some glow sticks. So here's the final look of our yellow rainbow rabbit doll. Sunny feels so unique to me because she's the first doll in my repaint collection to have a very happy expression. Most of my other girls have a kind of serious look to them. I think her whole outfit just turned out really fun, and she just seems like the kind of gal that you always have fun with. My personal favorite part are her fuzzy boots. They turned out exactly like I had in mind, and they really make the outfit for me. So here she is with the red rabbit Ruby, and let me know in the comments who you'd rather hang out with, Sunny or Ruby. Who's more of your vibe, who's more of your aesthetic? And let me know what you think of Sunny in general. What you like about her, what you wish I did differently, anything really. Alright, I'm gonna get back to my dance party, but I'll see you next time with another doll repaint video. Bye!